Hey everybody, welcome back to GeoWeek 2026 in Denver, here with Ted Knack. Hey Ted.
How you doing, Jeff? Good to be here.
Good to see you. So, for those who don't know, what is Topodot? What do you guys do?
Great to do. Okay, Topodot is a point cloud, fundamentally a point cloud processing software. And what we do is we'll take data from systems such as yours, and we'll extract high quality, engineering quality deliverables, and we'll feed engineering applications, construction, anything downstream that takes your data and basically converges survey domain knowledge with engineering and the like to extract high impact decisions, extract high quality models, and just feed downstream processes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How long have you guys been around?
We've been around officially as a company since 2011.
All right.
And so it's been 15 years almost, I guess.
Okay. That's a pretty long time. I guess things have changed quite a bit in this world, in the technology of LiDAR, mapping.
Oh gosh, yes.
What are some of the things that have changed a lot in the last 5 years or so?
In the last 5 years, well, I say concisely, I'd say I would say that what the real thing we're noticing is becoming a mainstream technology. Mm-hmm. Process, basically, I like to call them trajectory-based acquisition systems.
Yeah.
Because anything on a moving platform, has now been, is now accepted as it's all capable of basically meeting survey-grade quality. It can be the data governance such that you can establish that certain requirements are met with regard to survey, so that data then meets the requirements for extraction, and then you can actually trace your extraction, any models you make, any analysis you do. You can trace that back to the survey origins, the provenance of the survey data, original coordinates and data. So that makes it very valuable.
Okay.
And it's accepted now. It's mainstream. It's going everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this did not used to be the case that you could do this with a moving platform. You used to need a total station or terrestrial laser scanner.
Let's just say 5 years ago, even it was a bit more of a crapshoot. They were out there, and we were working with them all, and we've been around since the beginning. But it was more of a struggle. I mean, when you have multiple passes in mobile LiDAR and they break by 5-10 centimeters here, everything stops and nobody knows what to do. And we saw that often. So the quality control and I would say the precision and I think the maturation of the process, is what's really come a long way in the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. It's very reliable now. And companies like yourself, like Mosaic, is actually putting things together that make it more affordable, I think, and that's key. Mm-hmm. It's become mainstream, and also you've been very innovative in how you've attacked that. So I think those are the changes. Mm-hmm. And then the data is just basically everywhere, and we do our best to turn that into those deliverables that people will pay for. To be honest, what's the value proposition of this data? That's about it. I think it's a big thing.
Yeah, one thing we like to talk about with our Meridian system specifically is a lot of people need spatial data, they need LiDAR data, they need actionable, extractions of things that they're inspecting. But there's a certain level of accuracy that everybody needs, and not everyone needs to spend $1 million on some millimeter accurate level of data. Can you tell us a little bit about how you see this?
Yeah, it's true, and it's a really good point. So we build our technology to, well, first of all, in our world, we do a lot of infrastructure stuff. So it's basically, road, rail, and the like. Yeah. And I think it depends on your requirement. So and just put it in perspective. If you're extracting a curb line, you don't need a millimeter.
Right.
So and millimeters cost a lot.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting when I see. I mean, camera systems are an important part of this, and it actually, when we get calibrated imagery with point cloud, the synergy between the two make post-processing extraction deliverables 30% faster.
Yeah.
So people say, why do you need images? Well, yeah, it really helps. But the bottom line is we see also even the highest resolution cameras are great until there's always a balance between productivity and getting the highest resolution. So in other words, highest resolution means bigger file sizes. Bigger file sizes takes longer to download. And quite frankly, the cameras that were taking pictures of stop signs and rail and in a building 5 years ago were good enough.
Right.
So you have to, you want to kind of like basically say, well, when you're looking for your equipment, what is 80% of your business going to be, and then how are you going to extract what you want from that data, and then put requirements on that data, and then look at the productivity and the cost and the like of production, and make your decision that way, as to what you need. So it's good points, and I think Mosaic's in the right way there. You're kind of like being really innovative and making it affordable and usable from everything I've heard. We've seen some great data, so we know it's good. The quality's there.
Great, thanks. Here at Geo Week and over the past year or so, is there anything that you find new and exciting or interesting?
Well, actually, I am encouraged. Well, again, I'm talking to you, but let's just say I'm encouraged that you guys are taking this approach of being innovative in your system development and the like. And what I'm seeing, I think what I'm seeing here is, I think there's it's a maturation. I think that the entire industry is getting a little mature. Everybody now, even 5 years ago, it was the point cloud or any kind of laser scanning was a niche in the survey world. It was still a department niche where they applied it once in a while when it worked. Now it's become the primary component in survey data. I mean, point clouds, calibrated imagery, and the trajectory data, the reference data that ties it all together. That is the primary component. Everything's scanned now. And in the US, I noticed I go around the world with this, and I think the US leads a bit because we've been actually working on the back end of the process with Topodot. So we're in 35 DOTs doing like a lot of delivering a lot of thousands of miles of deliverables through our customers, and so it's accepted. There's just no, and everybody has that feel that this is we've arrived. And if it's me, I've been doing this a long time, like I said, since 2011, and before that with Regal and for 17 years. So I'm glad I lived long enough to see it all. Sometimes you're just glad you made it.
How do you see the technologies moving forward? I hear some talk about LiDAR is useful, but sometimes you can do it with only images. Sometimes you can do photogrammetry. Sometimes you can create a point cloud from images, and you don't need LiDAR. How do you see all that?
How do I see all that? I see. It really becomes where you want to go. In other words, what's your deliverable? So fundamentally, and people should accept. Sometimes I don't mean to be demeaning to LiDAR data. It's amazing data, but it's a 3D picture. Let's just say it's a 3D picture, and by itself, limited value until you extract the intelligence from it.
It's not the end product.
Yeah, you can check. It's like any picture, really. If I take a picture of a camera, you and I know what the picture is pixels, right? So, what is it? So it's the same here.
Right.
So the question is, where do you want to go with it, and what's the value proposition of where you're taking that data? So, does your system support the data at the do you have the optimal system for majority of what you want to accomplish that gets you the data? And it's all about productivity, to be honest. Not always about price, it's about productivity and how well you go through the process and how quickly you can get it out, because time is your biggest cost, in everything. Right. And then the same with the processing. Will it feed your downstream processes, and will you extract that deliverable in a way that makes the business proposition work for you? So getting back to your original question there, I've seen some excellent point clouds from image-based UAVs, but if you have to look beneath the canopy of trees, that's not the technology that's going to work for you. Okay. Right. However, a there's a lot of applications that it might fit in. So that's why typically our customers collectively have different systems and different things. That's their job, is to have a collection that they can look at the application and apply the right tool for the right objective. So I would say at Topodot we say there's no bad data. The key is to know what the data is, how it's going to be applied, and as surveyors, you take the responsibility for basically assessing that data and then making that determination that, okay, this data will support this objective and this mission objective in this project, and we can sign off and verify. And it could be anything. It can be plus or minus 10 centimeters. It can be plus or minus 5 millimeters. It's all good data. It just has to meet the objective.
Right. Yeah. Okay? I know a lot of our customers are happy using Topodot with a mature software that has a good history of giving these proven results in a way that can be depended on.
Thank you. Yeah, we've always been process driven, so we actually we always paid a lot of attention to the business perspective of our clients. If they're successful, we're successful. So we've always looked and say, okay, what's taking long and what's taking too long and what can be better. And we kind of just take it as a simple approach, but if there's a bottleneck somewhere, we focus on the bottleneck to the extent we can. And then we work with partners like yourself to say, okay, how do we make it as seamless as possible from your perspective, from your interface, from your collection and your export into our import. And if you just kind of pay attention to your clients and make sure they're going to be successful, our success follows. And so that's our philosophy, really.
Cool. Well, Ted, thanks a lot for stopping by.
Oh, man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. So I hope to see you again soon. And I guess when's the next place? Energeo, I guess.
Energeo, I think we'll be there for sure. You'll be there too.
All right. Oh, I'll be in Energeo, and we have our conference in May, and I hope
we should be there again.
That'll be exciting. So good to see you in May at Top 26.
All right.
Our 10th anniversary. So.
Oh, nice. All right. Thanks a lot, Ted.
Everybody. Good to see you. Bye.